couple defensive changes. Clement's over to third base because IKF is coming to the game at second. Barger is out after he hits the 5th home run of the game for Toronto. Harry Ford leads off, lines the ball to center field, and has a base hit. So Ford in his first postseason at bat has his first postseason hit. Well, it's not like the Mariners offense has been silent. They have 3 home runs in this game. They've scored 4 runs. This is Mason Fluharty, by the way, on the pitch for the Jays. 4 runs on 8 hits for Seattle. They're just a lot more on the other side.
Well, both pitchers, they watch this game with different obvious outcomes. But for Luis Castillo, he's like, okay, I know what I got to do. And obviously, you got to keep them from bunching runs together. And with this kind of lineup, Scherzer, of course, is going to try to get the swing and miss type pitches and keep the ball in the yard. But I mean, Toronto, all things said, they got to win one more game to get home field advantage back, get back to home. And Luis stands in their way of that tomorrow.
Here is that matchup. A couple veteran pitchers. 26th postseason start for Max Scherzer. And why Scherzer over Bassett? John Schneider's saying that Max Scherzer more of a creature of habit and tied to his routine, where Bassett's a little more malleable. Not that one of them was more willing than the other to go in a relief role, just that Bassett a little more equipped to do so. And he was really encouraged with what he saw from Chris Bassett out of the pen the other day.
Yeah, absolutely. He hadn't pitched in a long time and did well.
2-2.
Quite a resume. Try to add on to tomorrow at the age of 41. 2-2 on Suarez. Fluharty deals. Suarez grounds it foul.
It is a big deal, though, the difference between 3-0 and 2-1. I mean, you'll sleep a little bit. Whatever his routine is, he'll stay with it. But if you're on the other side, you want to make Luis Castillo. You want to pass the baton on to your starter for a chance to clinch it in Game 5. So I don't think we'll see this type of game tomorrow, but
3-2.
Does that mean we're going to have this kind of game? Because every time we think we know, it winds up the opposite.
Yeah, I mean, this crowd, I still give it to them. I mean, they're going to be even more electric tomorrow.
Come on.
Ten pitch coming here to Suarez. Rare that you see him work this long of an at bat. And down on a fastball. One gone in the ninth. Mitch Garver to pinch hit here. You got to go back to the 2017 World Series, Dodgers Astros, to find the last postseason game with this many home runs.
Was that crazy game?
That was Game 2, actually. Mariners at Dodgers. There were a lot of crazy games, but you're thinking of the one in Houston, right?
Yeah, the one in Houston was beyond belief crazy.
Game 5.
I just found myself saying no way like 5 times.
Yeah, game 5, 13-12 Astros. That's the one you're thinking of. Wild pitch right here allows Ford to go into second. George Springer homered in that game, one of the 5 that he hit. His MVP effort, his record-setting 5-home-run World Series. Guerrero, Justin makes the catch. And the Mariners are down to their last out. And Victor Robles heads up there. So the Mariners go to Toronto and nobody's given them much of a chance to do anything other than survive those 2 games, and they win both. And they come back home here with the pitching lined up, no longer on short rest. George Kirby, who had been so good every time he'd been given the ball in the postseason in his career. Blue Jays offense silent the first 2 games, but it all gets turned upside down. The Blue Jays punch right back and take game 3 convincingly.
Impressive, especially after the start, down 2-0 quick in a crowd that's going crazy. Impressive team battle back by the Toronto Blue Jays.
Luis Castillo will take it for the Mariners tomorrow. And that man is heated back up. Vlad Guerrero Jr. 4 hits, including a home run. Kirk homered. Jimenez homered. He hit the first of the 5 home runs for the Blue Jays in this game. Yeah, everybody got involved in the action. There were 13 runs on 18 hits. And this American League Championship Series is now 2-1.
Certainly for the managers, a much easier game to manage when the score gets that way. For John Schneider, he had a lot less stress.
Yeah, both teams have had that. Game 2 for the Mariners. Dan Wilson was able to use his low leverage guys. Same thing for the Blue Jays right here. Stressful time of year. They'll take all these stress-free days they can get. Down to the field, here's Kenny.
Thanks, Joe. George, Jays scored 4 runs in the first 2 games, 13 tonight. What changed offensively?
I mean, just huge at bats by Ernie, by Himmy, you know, to swing it back in our favor there, and then obviously, you know, Vladdy was great. I just didn't think as a team it was just a good overall game, and it's on to the next.
Shane Bieber, he allows the 2-run homer to Julio and then gives up the 1-out double to Polanco in the first. Then he recovers to pitch 6 innings without allowing another run. What did that tell you about him?
Oh, I mean, he's nails. You know, I love him. You know, he competes. You know, he wanted this. You know, obviously didn't start the way he would have wanted to, but that's pretty much who he is. You know, he can battle back from anything. So, love him.
George, you know the postseason, every game stands alone. At the same time, how do you see this series now?
I mean, it's one day at a time. I mean, it's on to the next one tomorrow. You know, that's a great team over there. It's on to the next one.